Hello again, and today I am going to be crossing off one of the many commentaries in my backlog. So we're going to get into a subject that I have maybe hinted at once or twice, and that is social media. And to cut to the chase, social media is bad for your mental state. If you have ever spent enough time on social media, you see yourself distancing from reality, just like checking out from the world around you, the people falling on the street because they weren't looking up at the right time. These are the kind of people that I'm genuinely talking about, as well as the shut-ins who, just instead of doing something with their lives, start getting into their little phone world. There's a great song by a metal band called Wretched. And they, on the album Cannibal, they did a great video for it on a dolly track. And all the lyrics were all about being like, I grow weary of my phone. If I cannot open it, I cannot escape the anxiety. And to me, those were like kind of haunting lyrics at the time, because it was just like, oh wow, this is like the social media experience down to a T. Those fucking little notifications just trying to destroy my life by letting me know somebody said something. Great. And we've seen over time that extended social media use causes extended mental problems in a lot of people. And as an anecdote that I've really never told anyone other than people who ended up telling me, I did have a bully group when I was very younger. I had moved out of public high school into a different high school, and yet the populace that knew who I was at that old high school liked to troll me a little bit, liked to light a fire under my ass. I had like zero internet etiquette at the time. And by internet etiquette, I mean like knowing how to handle yourself. And what I did was really stupid, but what they did was they made a bully group about me. And I was told about this, and instead of going after them, I said fuck it, and I just went offline, and the group no longer exists. And, I'm better off for it. Because with the whole Facebook structure of using your real identity to talk to your friends and family and peers, it's just so tiresome to keep up your appearance. And it really, at the end of the day, it makes you question who the fuck you are, because you're just looking at this person and then just like being like, is that me? Is that who I am? Or is this just an illusion? But if you don't experience this, I would start questioning ASAP, because you could have totally changed as a person in the span of the decade that will now be marred for extreme social media use. And with extreme social media use comes the second point. It makes you unproductive. There's so many of these Twitter journalists who think they're doing real work just by engaging in long Twitter threads. Nick Monroe! And it's really not work, man. It's really not worth it to just make threads all day. Write an article. Write something of substance. I know the person I just went Nick Monroe to. Nick Monroe. He can write a good article if he sets his mind to it, and instead of just fucking doing these like empty fucking Twitter style postings. I don't care to read your goddamn thread. And I found this app the other day that I'll put in the link to the description, as well as the Wretched song. For this thing that just like kind of takes the Twitter threads and makes it into one cohesive post, and that's really nice. But I'm still not going to read your fucking Twitter thread, because you are just actively trying to say something long-winded, say something that is not concise, say something that needs explanation on a website where you can just be taken out of context like that. So that's my whole bit with the Twitter journalists. But with specifically shit like Twitter, I have noticed that a lot of people, when they join, especially in the creative field, they become incredibly lazy. They, farm out to the people who they consider to be their fans, the ones who they actively engage and agree with. Ryan Johnson, I think, Mr. Lizard Person himself, fucking suffers from this like crazy. And thank you to the great Data Racer 117 for showing us the fucking receipts on why he deleted all of his tweets. And it just went to show that this guy was on Twitter constantly. He was, getting his information from his buddies. And it obviously changed him as a person. And, it comes back to the first point. But the third point, literally, this is the sole fundamental reason that there is a lot wrong with social media and you need to get off it. There are so many moneyed interests now in social media compared to the way it used to be. Okay, so another anecdote time. I went to go find a Facebook post today, and the way I remember it, when, it stopped getting engagement, it basically had the most liked post at the top to the no liked posts at the bottom. Not your fucking friends, not your fucking random dude who said something. It was literally just a merit-based system. And then over time they started just adding the friends, which is somewhat helpful. And then they just started fucking up the entire comment section. And this is as a result of the money interest. There's clearly some reason as to why they fucked with something that was good, and it's because that's what they think is innovation. Is if you keep changing, you're innovating. And I'm sorry to tell you this, but that Apple fucking methodology is complete garbage. And it's in the backlog, but I will talk about Apple. Apple is the devil. Apple should not exist currently the way it is. It literally defies logic. The continuation of Apple products and the Apple cult. But, with all this kind of money flowing in and out of these Silicon Valley startups, these social media sites, you see that, now there are stakes at play when you make a post. And, everyone's now concerned with, how do I monetize this? How do I monetize this? Well, maybe if you had some fucking engagement, you could actually monetize this and people would pay attention so that you could really monetize it. But no, you're just trying to get the quick buck, and it shows. And it shows that you're a panderer, it shows that you're a shill, it shows that you're not worth listening to. And despite all of these points, we need some fucking solutions, and we need some fucking solutions now, because I could go on points all day. But if we don't have the solutions for the social media problem and social media question, we are going to lose humanity to being hooked up into the Matrix. Literally, because this is what we're going to. We're going into fucking Google Glass territory, which I'm so glad that went nowhere. And, the next thing would obviously be eye injections so that you can have a heads-up display, just beam out to you whenever you want. You just blink your eyeballs, and then there it comes. And then it'd be like, oh, well, let's shit a fart on Twitter. And speaking of Twitter, there's this immortal tweet by Tyler, the Creator, famous rapper, used to be edgy. And he said, ha 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 ha, nigga, how the fuck is cyberbullying real? Ha 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 ha, why don't you just go outside? Or something to that effect. And that is the cyberbully answer, is to put your phone down and go outside. And I would say this to anyone who's just overusing as well. You need to look at nature. You need to look at art. You need to look at pretty things. Not through your phone, not through a fucking television screen. Just go outside. Enjoy the nice weather if you got it. Enjoy the cold weather if you got it. It doesn't matter what is going on, kind of with your surroundings. If you find beauty in it, then enjoy it. Live it up. Get offline. Please get offline. The next point I would say is more interpersonal. you need to call your friends and family more often. And I need to call my friends and family more often. I call just a couple, to be honest with you. And I really feel like I should start reaching out to my friends more. And it's because, currently I live far away from them. And the distance is really starting to set in because I'm not included in anything anymore. I don't talk to them. And it hurts, man. These are my ride or die guys. And now they're out of my life, basically. And I really don't want them to be. So yeah, call your relatives even if it's just like once every like blue moon. It's nice to hear somebody over the phone. The addendum to this point is to stop using automation features. If you go to a fast food restaurant, do not use the touchscreen. If you go get groceries, go into the regular checkout lines. If you do anything that involves requiring assistance, even if it's just like shopping and shit, go ask an attendant. Don't go to the little kiosk. Just talk to people. As an autist, I know it's rough to talk to people, but trust me, it is so much better to talk to a living, breathing human being than to a computer screen. And the final solution I have, and this is pure self-control, but you got to know when to log off. You got to know when to pull the plug and realize that there are problems with your consumption of social media. Now, I have one solution that I will put into the source section, and that is specifically Zen Mode by OnePlus. The manufacturers of my OnePlus 6 phone have this great little app. I don't know if you can access it on Apple products. You more than likely do because it's in Google Play. And you can basically download Zen Mode. And what Zen Mode does is it locks your phone out for a period of time. You can even earn rewards for the longer you lock out. I tried it once. I really enjoyed it. I haven't really needed a moment currently because I do spend a lot of time, conducting my business with this channel and other ventures on my phone. But when I have a moment to myself, like a real one, I am going to just put it down. If you're in a relationship and you both are on your phone constantly, put it down. You don't need to be tic-tac-tapping it away. This is the reason why the boomers make fun of us after all. And so, to all you Silicon Valley companies, all of you vested interests with your money and your just endless notifications of fucking hellfire, tread lightly because we know what you're doing. And it's not a game. It's our life.